Welcome back to my channel. I'm Quiana LaChé, hypnotherapy and NLP practitioner, transformational strategist, YouTube growth strategist, all the things Bookie. And today I want to come talk to you about how I have made a life that is essentially recession proof and how you can do the same. I know that we are living in a time where there's a lot of information and noise out there that's talking about the recession. You know, the price of eggs have gone up astronomically. Like, people are starting to kind of freak out. And I am here to be your guide on how to make sure that you do not fall trap to this fear-based mindset, and so that you can still live a very thriving, fruitful life. So the first thing that I'm going to suggest that you do is start getting intimate with your money. Oh yes, honey. Oh yes. Listen, have you seen those like Rocket Money commercials where they're like coming up to people on the street and they're like, do you know how many subscriptions you have coming out of your account every month? And the people are like, oh, maybe like one or two. And then the next thing you know, they discover that they've got like over $200 of subscriptions coming out of their account. That's not normal. Okay, let's stop normalizing not knowing when subscriptions and expenses and things are going to be coming out of our bank account. If you're watching this, you more than likely grown. Okay, so it's time to, you got to start being financially responsible, fiscally responsible, and part of that is getting intimate with the money that you have. So I have what's called Money Mondays, and that's when I sit down and I have what's called a money date. And it's when I open up all my accounts, I look at everything. See, it's not enough to just like open up the app to your bank and then it just shows you, you know, like the overview, like, oh, here's how much money is in your account. Now, click in there and look at your expenses. This process might not feel good to you in the beginning. I know it didn't feel good to me in the beginning when I started doing this years ago, but you have to do it. You have to just get through the pain of opening your account and looking at your expense. Look at where your money is actually going. Okay. How many times did you go out and eat fast food when you had groceries at home? Okay. How many drinks did you went to the bar and you bought how many drinks? Your tab was how much? Like, we can't complain about money, and especially our money, when we don't understand it. And then not taking responsibility for it. You don't reserve the right to complain. And so I actually have created this Notion template where it walks you through the complete process of doing a money date so that you feel good at the end. There might be some shifts and some changes you need to make, but in order for you to make them, you have to have an awareness of what is even going on with your money, with your finances. And if you refuse to do that, I'm telling you, you're going to continue to live life in a way that's not going to be as conducive to the growth that you think that you want to have for yourself. Get intimate with your money. Start hosting your money dates. If you want the Notion dashboard, you can go, the link is in my bio. You can go ahead and check that out. But I'm telling you, doing this process for myself years ago changed the game for me, and it changed how I lived my life. Not even just for me, but also like my husband. So my next tip is make investments that buy your time back or that save you money. For so long, I think that people had this belief, right, that being able to have certain services or resources was only reserved for like the higher upper classes of the world. And the reality is it's not true. It's not true, right? And so we even see this kind of like today with things like Uber Eats, Instacart, right? Like being able to have someone deliver your food or your groceries to you would have really been seen as like a high class luxury in the past, but it is something that everyday regular people can actually utilize. And so I want you to start thinking in terms of how valuable your time actually is. Like start there. Okay? Instead of allowing yourself to run around like a fucking rat in a trap, start putting yourself in this mindset. My time is very valuable. My time is I don't care if you are a cashier at fucking McDonald's. Your time is still valuable. You have to believe that you are so fucking important because nobody else is going to believe that for you. You have to believe it for yourself, okay? And when you start to believe that and you start to understand that and you start to have this inner knowing that your time is immensely valuable, you start making investments that allow you to buy your time back and or save money. So let me give you an example. Okay. I invested in a Ninja Creamy Deluxe. Yes, I did. I wanted to be able to have the option to make 11 different treats, frozen treats at home. But I knew that this investment was going to save money because we're not going to go to Cold Stone. We are not going to go to Dairy Queen. We're not going to go to Sonic. Like, it's getting warmer outside and we're going to want our frozen treats. You know, we don't have to go to the Italian icy place down the street. We can make 11 different types of frozen treats at home, and they're going to actually be healthier than what we could get from any of these other places, right? And so to me, that's an investment. And it's also a way that we are going to actually save money in the long run, because the amount of money that we may spend in the course of less than a year on maybe going to get ice cream and frozen treats is going to exceed the cost of purchasing the Ninja Creamy Deluxe. Now, in regards to buying your time back, just think about, again, grocery delivery services, right? Or having someone come in to clean your home. What does that free up? I really want you to take a moment. Take a moment while I'm talking, right? I just want you to visualize this. Walk with me here, okay? You got to take the time. You got to get dressed, unless you're already dressed, but you got to get dressed. You got to put your shoes on, grab your keys, grab your purse, make sure you got your wallet, okay? Go get in the car. You gotta start the car. Starting the car ain't free, okay? You gotta start the car. You gotta drive to the grocery stop, okay? We're driving. We sitting in traffic. Da 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 da. Okay, now we at the grocery store. Now, how much time has it taken you to do everything up until then? Now we're at the grocery store. Now we gotta actually go down each aisle to go get whatever it is that we need on our grocery list, right? And then let's say there's a little extra time because maybe you don't have all the discipline in the world, and maybe you're looking at things as you're passing by them. You're picking up more stuff, okay? So now you're spending more time. Now it's time to check out. You may or may not have to stand in the line. Add that time up. Now you got to go load all your stuff in your trunk. Okay, some more time. Some more time. Okay. Then you got to drive home. Okay. How much time did you spend? Be realistic. How much time does it usually take you to get dressed, get out the house, go get your groceries, come home, and put them away? How much time? 2 hours? Hour and a half, 2 hours, right? If you valued your time, the way that I'm saying, value your time. There are other things that are important to you, things that need to get done that now it's either harder to do, you don't have now the time to do it, but you could have if maybe you had your groceries delivered, right? What does buying back your time do for you? Does getting your groceries delivered mean that you can now make those phone calls to your doctor, get your appointment scheduled for you, for your kids, whatever the case may be. Maybe that means that you can now maybe make a couple of pieces of content to post for your social pages, whatever it is, right? How much time does it save you? What opens up for you when someone comes in and spends 30 minutes to an hour cleaning your home, now you not having to do it? Now the hour that you would have spent and then some, because now you gotta get dressed afterward and you gotta get your mind back on track, which that's a whole other conversation about how long it actually takes for your brain to actually get on board with the next task that you have to do after doing another one for so long. But anyways, right? What opens up for you? What is available to you when you start buying your time back? To me, the $98 that we paid Walmart for a year-long subscription where we can get our groceries delivered to us any day of the week, right? Well exceeds the amount of time that we're getting back not having to walk into Walmart every single week, having to go drive over there, having to sit in traffic, having to wait at the checkout. Like, it's worth it. And what we're able to do as a result of that, more time marketing, for business, more time spending with each other. Like like that's important to us too, right? So I just want you to consider those things. The next thing that I recommend that you learn how to do to recession proof your life is learn how to make some money. I just feel like the way that things are going, the way that society has changed, being able to know and understand how to make money it's imperative and it's important. Whether you are an entrepreneur or you are holding down a 9 to 5, whatever the case may be, I truly believe that it is so, so, so important for you to know how to go get this money. But also look around you, okay? Look at how, look at how, like, even with the rise of social media, it's helped to actually level the playing field where anybody really can get on social media and make money. You see people on TikTok all the time, right? On TikTok Live, recorded videos, whatever, promoting products, and they're getting a check. Brand sponsorships, right? Like, now more people are able to get, brand sponsorship. Like, the playing field has leveled out so much. Even just posting. Now, I don't I don't post too much on social media, but did Facebook send me a little $8.41? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And that wasn't even my intention. That wasn't my goal. But because, I have to market my business, it did a little something, something. Nonetheless, there are opportunities out there and there are ways. And so don't allow yourself to be so like this straight and narrow to where you're not allowing yourself to expand. Ask your subconscious, show me the easiest way for me to make some money that is within integrity and my values and my morals, okay? Right? But just where and allow those opportunities to start to and when you have the ideas, oh my gosh, please act on them. Do something. Add a friend. And this had to have been, oh my gosh, I was probably about a good 22 back then. So it's been about 11 years, right? And she went to esthetician school. She graduated. So proud of her. Yay, yay, yay. And at that time, I was also starting my business, and I was more so about branding and marketing. And this is before we had TikTok. This is before we had Instagram Reels. This is before we had Instagram Stories. This is before we had Facebook Lives. Okay, I'm aging myself right now. I know I look good though. And so I remember we went to Barnes and Noble, And I sat down with her and I had my notebook and I was like, I was excited, right, to talk to her about like how she could start to grow her brand and market herself, in non-traditional ways. And I just remember her being like, well, I don't want the other estheticians to get mad at me for talking about the things that, we have to learn in school. And I'm like, so? This was the time when the thing to do as an influencer was to be making YouTube videos. And I really wanted her to be able to do this. I saw the opportunity. I saw what could happen if she just put her fears aside. If she just took those fears and those stories that she was telling herself and just sat them over here for a moment and moved, just moved, right? Where she could be today. And it's not that I want to dwell on the past, but I want you to understand that one moment you're sitting that idea to the side, and the next thing you know, a decade has gone by and you have not actually moved any closer to the goal. Like that. Because to me, when I think back with that conversation with that friend, it doesn't feel like it was a decade ago, but it was. But it was. So I want you to start to trust yourself. I want you to allow yourself to look crazy, look stupid. Who gives a shit? Try. Just try. There's no such thing as failure. I have a video on this I want you to go watch. I'm going to put it in the description box. No such thing as failure. Failure does not exist. Do not allow failure to exist in your world, okay? Just try. Try to go make some money. Just try. You never know what is going to happen. You never know. You never know who's going to connect you with who. I remember one day, I have a program called Video Boss, and this is all about helping people to grow like their YouTube channels for their business, right? To actually make money with it, not to become an influencer with it. And I remember just sitting there one day and I got like two payments back to back, paid in full, someone that I've never spoken to, someone that I have never spoken to, bought my program in full twice. Why? Because someone else that purchased it was telling them about how good it is. I didn't have to even have a conversation with this person. You understand? Money is everywhere, but you have to trust yourself and you have to move. If I didn't trust myself and create the program to begin with, and if I didn't trust myself and market the program to begin with, would complete strangers be buying it off the word of someone else who went through it? Trust yourself, boo. Okay, so the next thing on recession proofing your life is learning how to leverage your credit. Yay, credit. So listen to me. Every year, my husband and I do like a little trip for my birthday. And we don't pay out of pocket for it. Why? Because we pay everything that we can on our credit card. Now, remember what I said earlier about being fiscally responsible, financially responsible? Okay, that still applies. We weren't just buying stuff left and right and putting it on the credit card. Any bills that could be put on the credit card, we're paying for groceries, gas, whatever. It's all going on the Amex. Okay, it's all going on the credit card. And because we get cash back, we let that stack for the entire year. Then when my birthday rolls around, guess what? Hotel covered, food, drinks, like, you see what I'm saying? So start utilizing credit in a smart way. Get points, preferably cash back. So no more of this, like, and I hate to have to say it, but like Afterpay and Klarna and like it's not really helping you. They're not reporting to the credit bureau, so it's not helping, it's not helping your credit score. It's not, they give you credit increases and it's not being reported to the credit bureaus. You see what I'm saying? Like, get a credit card, be responsible with it, like pay your, like if you are in a season where you're learning to be financially responsible, then like pay your necessities with it, like the things that you know that you're going to pay and that you are going to pay. And instead of paying the card like once a month, if you have a transaction, then pay it in like 3 days. Like once it hits your account, then just pay it. If you already had the money, wait like 72 hours, wait for that bit to like hit your account and then pay it immediately. Start training yourself. Okay, start training yourself. But again, allow yourself to leverage credit in a way that is going to be smart, as opposed to, again, you're having your payments broken up, and then, just they add the interest. And again, none of it is really benefiting you. All that you're getting out of it is just the opportunity to spread out your payments. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to do to recession proof your life is become your own beauty guru. If you aren't already, like I understand that with inflation, prices of everything, I am from that era. I very vividly remember being able at 16, when I worked at Sonic Drive-In, I could walk next door to the nail salon, sit down and get a full set with a French tip for $25. Oh my gosh, those days are gone. Those days are gone, Buki. We are not getting full sets for $25 no more. And that's okay. I understand how, inflation works and times have changed. And so I say, I personally feel that just as a woman, you should be able to make yourself look nice, right? I have natural hair. I have natural hair, but I could silk it out. I could silk it out, you know what I'm saying, if I need to, I have become a straight natural. It's easier for me to manage. My hair has actually grown out a lot. It's flourishing, it's healthy, it's happy, right? I don't have to worry about going and sitting in somebody's chair. I can if I choose to. That gets to be an additional luxury if I want it to be, but it's not a necessity. Same thing with my nails. I taught myself at the very beginning of the pandemic how to do nails. I started learning polygel, acrylic, dip powder, like all the things. Like even before they even came out with like Gel X and stuff, I was teaching myself how to do nails. Why? Because before then, I was faithfully actually going and getting my nails done, and then the government said, y'all can't go nowhere no more. And I said, oh Lord. Well, one, I'm going to need something to do because I'm going to be stuck in the house. And, and two, like, I don't want to be I don't want to be walking around looking like a swamp donkey while I'm at home. I don't want to look like a swamp donkey. Okay. So, yes, I taught myself how to do nails. Now, I have been to a nail salon once in the past few years. My husband did send me for my birthday. My husband sent me for my birthday. But other than that, I can do these at home and have been and probably will continue to. And being able to do that, yes, saves me a lot of money. It saves me a lot of money, especially now that, they charge more for length and this and that. And just because you do, certain things at home doesn't mean that like this is like only for broke people, like broke bitch activities. Makeup Shayla on I think even on YouTube, on Instagram, she's been one of the top black beauty influencers for, I would even say, well over a decade. And you will see her on her Instagram. She does her own Gel X nails. This is the same woman who has like, I believe like a wig closet, and her wigs are hanging up all beautifully. She has somebody who comes to her home to do her hair. You know what kind of money you have to have somebody who actually will like come to your home to do, not you go to their shop. They're coming to your home to give you a flawless install. She has money. We know Shayla has money. And she'll still show us, I'm doing my Gel X nails today. She'll do her own nails. She's not going to the nail salon. She probably saving over $100 every time she does it. Every time she does it. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? So Become your own beauty guru. What can you learn how to do? Or what have you even wanted to learn how to do, right? You don't have to be perfect right out the gate. You know, like I've been doing my own nails for like 5 years now, but trust me, right out the gate, honey. But also the things that they have on the market, I didn't have access to back then. So those things didn't exist back then. So you might be able to like just right out the gate create something beautiful or something simple that at least gets you through. It might not be the bling bling nails that you see on Instagram, but you can learn also how to do those things and teach yourself how to do them. Right? The same, they charge you $5 extra just to put a couple of jewels on one nail, and for $5, you could get a whole pack of them jewels, a whole big ass pack of them jewels, and you could bling out every nail in your toes if you wanted to. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Okay, and so the last and final thing, and I saved the best for last and the most important, truthfully, is get your mind right. Now, we've talked about some various mindset shifts throughout this video, but getting your mind right, having a winning mindset versus a losing mindset, not falling victim to all the fear mongering that's going on. Have you heard the saying, and I might mess it up, to be honest, but they say that recessions create millionaires. Recessions create millionaires. Like, millionaires are birthed out of recessions. Do you think about that? Why is that? Why is that? So I want you to look around. I want you to look around the circle, your circle, who you hanging around with, what's their mindset? What are the conversations that y'all are having? What are the topics, right? What are you watching when you get on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever? Is it stuff that's putting you in this fear mindset? Is it stuff that's making you feel bad? Is it stuff that's making you feel scared? I'm not saying don't be informed, right? I'm not saying don't be informed. But sometimes when you are around certain mindsets and your brain is taking in certain types of information from all of this noise, it could be detrimental to how you are then moving in your life. So that's why I create spaces like Brain Magic Mastery for this very reason. I have seen the people online where something major might happen, and you have the people who are still selling in their businesses, they're still marketing, da da da. And then you have the people who are over here who are like, you shouldn't be selling during this time. And da-da. I guarantee you, those people aren't making the money though. And so those people don't have the options that someone over here who's like, I'm going to keep going. And the people over here who keep going, who keep showing up, well, then those are the people who make the donations and whatnot. I'm not saying that people who don't make a lot of money don't make donations and whatnot. They just can't make bigger ones because they literally can't. They don't have the money for it. What else are they missing out on because they're like, oh, don't market, don't do this. What mindsets are you around? What are you feeding your brain? Your subconscious mind is running 99 to 95% of your life. You want to know how your subconscious is wired? Look around your life. Look at your bank account. It's going to tell you everything you need to know about yourself. It'll tell you everything you need to know about yourself. And if you allow yourself, then you can start going deeper and start having some awarenesses. Why is my life like this? Well, because these are the decisions that I made. Well, why did I make these decisions? Well, because I had a fear of da 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 da. And I had a fear of da 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 da. And I thought that if I did this, then da 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 da. So I had a false belief of da 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 da. This is the moment where it can get really ugly. Allow it to. Be radically honest with yourself. Are you someone who takes radical self-responsibility for yourself, or is it always someone else's fault? Even if you are in certain circumstances, is it someone else's fault, or are you going to take your fucking power back and do what you need to do to get yourself out of a circumstance or a situation? When they say nobody's coming to save you, honey, nobody's coming to save you. And so I want you to take a moment to think about, and we're gonna call this your bullshit meter. This is your bullshit meter, okay? Let's figure out where you are on the scale of bullshit that you're telling yourself. Okay, so let's say you have a car. Your car is on its way out. Okay, she tinkering, she clinking, and she clacking, and every time she starts moving, will you continue to drive her until she breaks down on the side of the road where you are on your way somewhere, or will you start looking at other cars to buy? Start going to maybe some dealerships. Start going online, doing a little research. Schedule an appointment for some test drives. So you can get rid of her ass because you know she's on her way out. Which one would you do? Realistically, your subconscious knows what's the first thing that comes to mind. That's your answer. And that tells you what you need to know about yourself. Because your bullshit meter measures how bad you will let something get before you take action on it. How bad you will let something get before you take action on it. And it doesn't have to be a judgment. We don't have to judge. We can look at this from a place of neutrality because it's awareness. If you didn't know, now you know. Now you have the awareness. So now guess what? You get to choose differently. You get to do things differently. You get to move differently. It is a choice though. You understand what I'm saying to you? Now, this is the work that I get to do with people, and I absolutely love it. And so you can, right? Because I talked about the subconscious mind. That's the mind that's running on autopilot. It's the mind where when you bend over to tie your shoes, you don't sit there and be like, okay, take this loop and then we're gonna pull. And you're not walking yourself through how to tie your shoes. You bend over and you're just like, you just did it. That's your subconscious. That's autopilot. That's the work that I do. I help you to work with your subconscious. And so inside of the Brain Magic Mastery app, I have some audios for you that I want you to go listen to. Releasing fear, activating your next level self, right? Making empowered decisions. It's a collection of them. They're beautiful. People love them. I am often praised for my hypnosis and activation. But if you want to go deeper and you want support with that, join the Brain Magic Mastery membership. You don't have to go through all of this alone and by yourself. This is going to shortcut your transformation, your evolution, and your growth because you would have me. Again, I am certified, master certified, and trainer certified. So I could actually teach these things to you for neuro-linguistic programming, clinical hypnotherapy, just various modalities I have studied and have been studying for years. And they work. They work. And the only people that I have worked with who it didn't work for are the people who just didn't do it. No one's ever come to me and be like, Yana, this didn't work. It works. But you also have to believe, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to trust. We talked about trust. If you don't trust this, don't come. Don't join us. You need to, okay, work on that first. Work on that first. Okay? Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed these tips on how to recession proof your life, or at least all of the insights that I have to share. And let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaway is from today's video. And check out this video next. I will see you over there.